I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it around my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go, it won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's
Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Mamas on the Move. My name is Keisha.
And I'm Brandy.
And we are just going to get right into it. Y'all have no idea what it took for us to get here today.
It took a lot.
It took a lot.
It took a lot. And it took a lot out of me just coming out of a sickness and just still wanting to honor my commitment, but do so in a way where it's like I'm not taking away from what we have to bring.
Exactly.
But I'm here. I came in and told Keisha that I felt like I was rode hard and put up wet. And that's how I feel, man. And for those that don't know what that means, Keisha explained. Because it took me, she said this around me for like 10 years, and I didn't know what it meant. So tell the people.
Basically, in the equestrian world, when you race a horse, there is a grooming procedure after you finish. And sometimes when you just gone so hard on the horse and you just don't feel like it, you just ride the horse hard and put him up wet. That's what it means. Okay. So when you feel when you had one of those days, you feel rode hard and put up wet. Yeah. B has definitely had that. I'm gonna let her stay over there with her sickness. We gonna do that love from the
from afar,
from
a distance.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I have a super long night myself. So we are just happy to be here, and I appreciate you pushing through, girl, so we can, like you say, honor our commitment. But with that being said, and then we don't have Kirsten today. Kirsten, we miss you already.
Yes.
But we appreciate for those who have showed up for us today. Kai and even Tori is out there helping us today. So we appreciate it. So we're going to get right on into it today. And
I want to hear about your week first.
My week, well, I think we had that wasn't last week. That was the week before we did our Realtors Outlet.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, but we haven't talked about that.
No, we haven't talked about that. So a week or so ago, Brandy and I, and along with our girlfriend and colleague Miko the Realtor on Instagram, did an event called with our new, what is that? What would we call this? Our new... It's our new thing.
Yeah, thing. It's a thing.
But anyway, it's called the Realtors Outlet. Mm-hmm. And Brandy, Miko, and I, it was really Brandy and Miko's brainchild. And we pulled it together. But it was absolutely amazing. We had over like 370 agents to show up. And they flew in, drove in.
I mean, they came from Philly, from
Michigan,
from
DC,
Detroit.
Philly. Yeah,
Detroit,
it was crazy.
Yeah, but all the Carolinas.
Yes.
Like, it was
Florida.
unreal. People drove, Florida. People drove from near and far. I'm like, wow, this was...
I've never experienced, I mean, obviously we've never done anything like that because, at almost 18 years in this business, I have never known agents, like we're all at different brokerages, although you and Miko are both at Keller, you're in different offices, I'm with a different firm altogether, to come together and put something together like that. So we had such amazing support. So first and foremost, thank you for everybody that came out.
Yes.
Thank you for the support. And we're excited about continuing to grow and all of that. So, what did you think about it, B?
I thought it was great. I thought we were transparent.
Yes.
And we gave some nuggets that people had, they could take away and implement into their business. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think you touched on a real big piece, which is mindset. Mm-hmm. If you don't have the right mindset, then it's hard to really succeed in this business.
Right.
I talked about the disciplines that it requires of you on a daily basis.
Right.
Miko touched on the whole gamut, like from the discipline to the hard work that you have to put in. So I think we covered it all.
I do too. And I mean, it's amazing. I think we all would take it aback because afterwards we spent like an hour taking pictures.
Yeah.
Like it was just crazy, but people just really need that level of support because this can be a tough business. And I think it's why a lot of agents quit because they just don't know what to do next. They don't know how to stay encouraged. So I always say I'm blessed to have the tribe that we have, the relationship that we have that, I can call Brandy anytime, day or night, whether it's business person or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I also think, because I tried to quit and not be a part of it for like 5 times, that kind of talks about what we're going to talk about today, but we'll get to that in a second. But other than that, I have started another diet this week.
Okay. What's the name of this one?
Oh, well, I'm kind of sort of doing the keto diet. I don't really know if you can kind of sort of do it.
It's a variation of it?
Well, I'm doing my own little way of it because I don't think DJ is safe if I completely cut carbs. But I lost 1.5 pounds yesterday.
In one day?
In one day.
See, girl, now here's what I'm proud of, right? I'm proud of you making the choice to commit, right?
Yes.
Now I'm going to hold you accountable.
Okay, I'm down with this.
I'm going to hold you accountable because I want your success with this diet more so than anyone.
Yeah.
Lord,
you made it very clear last episode that I'm your only big friend. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
it
was not right how she put it like that. That was not.
I said, am I your only fat friend? You said, well,
no, I didn't say fat.
I said fat, but I'm saying, okay, well, I was your only big friend. You was like, well, all my friends are athletes. We've all been to the Final Four in the Olympics and everything. So
didn't nobody say that. Anyway, y'all, she is exaggerating. Okay, she's exaggerating. I wouldn't dare talk about my friends in a way which would hurt their feelings. Okay, she knows that I'm sensitive to stuff like that. But when she pointed it out, I did have to kind of acknowledge, okay, she is my the biggest friend that I have. So
you felt like that? First
no,
of all,
you brought it up.
Okay, well, let me say this: why I'm the biggest friend that you have.
I cannot believe we're going here.
I've met a couple that's 10 a little close there. Okay, so don't make it seem like
no. Listen, when I say big, in reference, as it relates to height, you a big girl. Now I even say I'm a big girl because I'm 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? No, excuse me, not 6 feet because I just went to the doctor and they told me I was 6'1.4". So I'm actually taller than 6 feet. So, now when because I reference me being a big girl just because I'm tall. We are, do you know that this fun fact, I got to share this. Only 1% of the entire population in the world is over 6 feet tall. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why so many short guys always trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like an anomaly. So that's cool. It's cool. That's why I don't mind. The word big doesn't offend me, you know what I'm saying? Because we are big.
Because you said I was your biggest friend. So with that being said, I've met some you guys. Tracy's 6'5", so you didn't mean big by height, but I appreciate you trying to clean it up.
Thank you.
Okay,
so we ain't got to go too deep into that. Y'all know what I meant,
right? But anyway, so that's the Realtors Outlet was a big thing. That wasn't actually last week; it was the week before last. We do this every other week, but that was an amazing event, and it definitely brought up kind of what we're going to talk about today, in terms of. Personally, I've just really been trying to grind and work on some things. So it's been that kind of mode. What's been going on?
No, but you've been doing that, and I've been seeing the fruits of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like whenever I see you post and like you showing these houses and this is under contract and this, I'm like, Keish working.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm back in that zone right now. I think I got discouraged because I always want to be able to help every client.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's tough when you can't get it closed, when you can't close a person. Like I've not really experienced that much, but I had to go back to the drawing board and say, what am I doing wrong? Not necessarily wrong. What do I need to do differently in order to accomplish the goal with this particular client?
Right.
Or whatever it is that I'm trying to do in my own life. You know what I mean? So it's just, it goes back to that whole mindset thing. So yeah, it's been, but I tell you, spending more time with you and Miko has been helpful too with that. It really makes a difference. When your tribe, man, it makes all the difference in the world. What kind of conversations are you having? Those things really make a difference.
And even taking a step back when you've experienced fallout, because I had a season like last quarter of last year, I had a tremendous amount of fallout. And it was like depressing, the amount of fallout I had. So sometimes you got to take a step back and just kind of refocus, regroup, and then realize what could I have done differently or what can I do differently? Because it's truly a numbers game.
It is a numbers game.
Okay, because if you have enough contracts in your pipeline, that 1, 2, or 3, or 4 fallouts won't impact you. Won't affect you as much.
Brother always says.
So that's important.
Yeah. So we finished up fall ball this past weekend. Thank you, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. I was at the ballpark every Friday. I mean, getting from our side of town to Cartersville on Friday. It was a lot. So I'm glad fall ball is over. DJ is still grinding. He's training 5-6 days a week now, which means I'm driving even more still. Yeah. But at least I don't have to deal with going up to Cartersville until the spring. And that's it for me right now.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
What's going on with you?
Outside of the Realtors Outlet, which we already touched on, which was just great. And we're looking to expand upon that and bring some more events for y'all coming soon. But yeah, just getting through the week. I've had an emotionally draining week, between sickness and just dealing with some personal family matters. And then one of my son's former high school teammates, he plays for Tennessee State University, and his name is Christian Abercrombie. And I've been around Christian and his family, since Little League, you know, because we played, you know, at the park, Sandtown. They trained together through my buddy Glenn's program, I Dare You. So I've always been around his family and him and I know his mother very well, Stacy. And, you know, to those who don't know, he suffered a severe head injury in Saturday's game. TSU played Vanderbilt, and it was just a routine football play. You know, he came to the sideline and complained of headache, and then he collapsed. And so they administered, you know, CPR right there, carted him off the field, took him straight to the hospital, and they had to perform emergency surgery.
Oh, Lord.
And he is still in critical condition. And it's just, oh my God, it's one thing to hear about these stories. It's a second thing to, one, be personally impacted by it, because I know him and his family. I know just how good of a kid he is. I know his mother, who is she's just a sweet, loving person, you know, always been supportive of her son, just good people, you know? So that weighed so heavy on my heart. I mean, it's weighed on me. I've been in my prayer closet every day praying for this young man, praying for a full and complete recovery. And you know, it's just Keisha, it just grieved me, because I'm just praying that he will fully recover from this, but we just don't know, you know. All you can do right now is put your faith in God and trust that he will completely be delivered from this circumstance that he's in right now.
Right.
You know, so I know we are going to talk more about faith and fear, but this was certainly, you know, when you experience something like that, it's certainly a test of your faith.
Absolutely.
And so I've been in deep prayer for that young man. So I'm going to ask for and solicit you all's prayers to continue to pray for him, that he comes out of this on the other side.
Oh, wow. I am so sorry to hear that. And I know it's got to impact, like you said, even more when it's somebody that you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just more impactful. And it kind of, you know, even with you sharing that story, kind of goes more into us. What we're going to just go right into what our topic of the week is, and that's to talk about faith over fear.
Right.
And it's so hard sometimes to have faith when you are going through so much. And like I vaguely mentioned that I tried to quit the Realtors Outlet. I think probably, I would say 4 times.
It was at least 4 times.
At least 4. Yeah. Okay, at least 4 times. Maybe more. Maybe more. But it was I felt it was fear. I mean, it's just plain and simple. It was fear. I'm a shy person. I know it's hard for people to.
Here she goes.
Randy eyes went straight up. I am. When I'm with you, you my girl, my family, my friends. I can be, you know, whatever. But getting in front of a room of your peers, first and foremost, that's hard. And feeling that I may have experienced judgment because I am not where I was at one time in my business.
Right.
As some of you know, B obviously has been there with me through it all. But, you know, when I lost Daryl, that took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
And not just losing my spouse, but it was the having a cheerleader. Right. He was I know he probably like, did you have to say I was a cheerleader? But he was. So no matter what I went through, to come home to him at the end of the day and having that level of support, because you know I had 17,000 jobs.
Right.
And he supported me in every one of them. You know what I mean? So until I got into real estate, it was like, wow, she's finally found something that she's good at. And even when things would be tough, I would have his support. So I started struggling with confidence. And so it's been like I talked about at the Realtors Outlet, it's like trying to keep a positive mindset continuously has been a challenge for me.
Right.
Because when things don't go out, I'm like, you know what? I just don't have it like I had it then. I don't, you know, so it's a struggle. And that was a huge platform. I mean, we had far more RSVPs that showed up, and we had 370 something that showed up. We had almost 500 RSVP.
Right.
So I was like, ain't no way in the hell I'm getting on this thing. Y'all I don't give a damn what you say. You can call me a coward, whatever. I'm not doing it. And so that whole, you know, trying to quit, and y'all can't really be back in. And even the morning of, I think, or the day before, I was like, you know, I'll just be the moderator. Tell Jen she don't have to do it.
It was 2 days before. It was that Monday.
It was that Monday.
And we had to talk you off the ledge.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, Keisha, whether you realize it or not, your testimony itself was going to speak to somebody in that audience. Even though you're not back to where you once were, and we know it's only a matter of time, but your testimony was going to speak to somebody. Somebody need to hear that, you know, and just even you leading off with the whole mindset thing, like mindset trumps everything.
Yeah,
it trumps everything. You can even have the discipline, you can even have the knowledge, but if you don't have the mindset and you can't put those two things together, then you won't succeed.
Right.
So I'm glad that we were able to convince you to do it because people needed what you brought to that event.
Yeah, and I think I just came more from a whole, life is gonna happen. You
Yes.
can be like
And Keisha, people don't even understand that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like until life happened to
Yes.
us, we didn't know.
Right.
We didn't know.
Absolutely.
It took us having those experiences, those deeply, they life-changing experiences to really like put things in perspective and force you to just adjust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that it takes longer for some than others to make that adjustment.
Right.
But it's a process. And like you, I'm glad the support that we've had, the support that we've been for you.
Right.
I pray that other people will have that during their times of need too.
Me too.
Me
too. But and then I think sometimes, as Randy, you can be kind of tough. And I don't know.
I want to hear this.
It's the athlete in you,
I want
or
to hear
it's the
this.
whatever. Because I think that sometimes, just like you said, some people, everybody's journey is different.
Yeah.
And everybody heals differently. Like you were more out. You hung out more.
I was out because that's how I handled
how
my
you
grief.
grieve.
That's how
what
I
I'm
grieved.
saying.
So that was, and not to say that was the right thing to do, but
well, there's no right or wrong. I think that's relative. I think people have to do whatever they feel. I tend to shut down from the world. That is the way I grieve, and that's the way I process
I would have
things.
gone crazy had I done that.
Yeah.
Like my way of processing my grief was to be active, was to be always doing something.
Right.
Which has also, I'm like, see, we it's good that we can be completely transparent on here. Because, I've had my therapist, I've had to talk through that because overfunctioning is
a sign.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's not good either.
Right.
So
100%.
it's like I was overfunctioning.
Yeah.
And even in my life today, when you say that word tough, that's why I'm like, oh, I want to hear this because.
Well, you can be. And sometimes I think even with those of us that you love, you can come across like, okay, that's what it is. All right, now you know what it is. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody doesn't process things that way. And I know it's hard for people to be like, you calling somebody tough? But she is. And you're not necessarily in that moment. Like, I can't really receive what you're trying to say.
Right.
Whereas your mindset is like, okay, look, that's what it is. Now you need to dust yourself off, get up, and let's get it popping.
Yeah.
Let's get it done. So everybody has different ways of dealing with things. My brother is more like you. Like, look, okay, okay.
But you know what? And that speaks to like you have to meet people where they are.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I've had to work on as a leader, just in my business, how I raise my children, how I relate to my husband, because I think the things that I've gone through in life have kind of hardened me in a way to where it's hard for me to make excuses for people, or to tolerate excuses.
Right.
Because I could have made every excuse in the world, with my set of circumstances, I could have made every single excuse in the world about why I couldn't do this, why I can't, why I should have stayed in Chicago, so it's like, because that's where my support system was, So here we are getting back to the conversation of faith over fear. And, I'm rigid in certain areas because one, my faith is strong, but two, God is, I'm a work in progress. And I want to be more sensitive to the fact that, everybody processes things differently, So I am working on that, Keisha.
Yeah, well, I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah.
I have my way, things that I'm working on. I can be, as you've told me, and my brother and many others that are close to me, that I can be
harsh.
I was gonna find the word, but thank you for, what I'm saying. See what I'm talking about. Harsh? Would you say I could be harsh?
Yeah, you could
I think I
harsh.
could be blunt. Harsh is
blunt
a different
and
word.
harsh. No, blunt and harsh go kind of hand in hand.
I don't know that I agree with
Because
that.
I think blunt is one thing, but harsh is a little bit of insensitivity in there too.
Well, then we the same people. Maybe that's why we get along. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't like you telling me something about myself you can't relate to. Okay? Right. But I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yes, I definitely can be blunt. But when you call me, then I'm not the person to call if that's not what you want.
Yeah, which is true. But we call you because we know we need to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, I get it.
And when you call me about something, I'm just not as harsh. I'm going to land a plane eventually. I'm going to circle the airport, but I'm also trying to be sensitive to your feelings a little bit.
But just because you circle the airport longer don't mean that when you finally land the plane that it's not, a rough landing. Okay? I'm just saying. I don't want you to think because you take longer to land the plane that it's not as impactful and it's rough sometimes. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But
we both gonna
works
work
in
on that.
progress.
We
We're
both
both
gonna
works in
work on that.
progress. But there are some things that I have absolutely and I think I put a post up yesterday about it's tough. Mondays in particular were really, really difficult for me when I was in the depths of my depression, because I would get up, I would take DJ to school, I would see all of this activity on social media about all these amazing things that people would go do. I was like, fuck that, I'm going to bed. I ain't got the energy to do half the shit y'all talk about. So I will just do what I do best. I'm about to go find me Golden Girls, Law and Order, and stop by the Waffle House. But it's like, and it's like, I think social media makes it tougher.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my faith is strong, and because I know God has continued to bless me, continued to deliver me from what is the word I'm looking for? The depths of despair.
Yeah.
Like I want people to understand. I get it. Like I get it. I have told Brandy, I think this vaguely, but I remember about 6-7 weeks after Daryl was killed, and it was Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was. I'm almost positive it was Thanksgiving. Do you remember this?
I do.
When you reached out to me?
Yeah.
And I had sent Ralph and DJ. Ralph is my son's godfather. I had sent them to my brother's house. We had a little small something there. And I said, y'all go on over to George's house and then I'll meet y'all over there. But I had no intentions of meeting them over there. And I had already put the pills out on the nightstand. And I had already made sure that everything in my will was taken care of. Because if you die within 6 months of your spouse in the state of Georgia, I mean, I ain't trying to be funny. It was going to all be divided with all the kids, and I wanted everything to go to DJ. I know this is probably going to be, but it is what it is. I'm just telling it like it was, okay?
You telling your story.
And I'm telling my story, and I wanted to make sure that my son would have everything, and then my brother and Les would be able to raise him. And I had thought this through, and I wasn't going to do it where I wasn't going to be pretty. So I was going to do it where I would just go to sleep. Because I'm telling you, when you get up every single day of your life and you in pain, the pain I experienced when Daryl was killed was something different than when my mom was killed. It was like, first of all, I'm going through the same type of thing twice in a 10-year period. So now I'm mad. I couldn't see my way out.
Right.
So when you called me, at the moment you called me, and I wasn't even going to pick up because, at that time I would leave folks at the gate
I know.
and all that kind of stuff. But something told me to pick up. And what you said to me is what pulled me back. And it's vague to me now because it's been 10 years. It'll be 10 years, October 24th, since I lost them. But you just spoke to my spirit. And I knew in that moment, I can't leave my son.
Wow.
And I'm a person that people look at as so strong, and she's been through so much, and she's sick, but I almost wasn't here.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes I get frustrated when people are so hard on people, because you don't know what people be going through.
Yeah.
And everybody don't have that phone call that stops them. And I don't know if I was really wanting to go through with it. But you were thinking about it. But even
to the point, if you were even thinking about it,
I was definitely thinking about it. And I hate that I know my son is going to listen to this, but I shared it with my brother, so they're not going to be like totally shocked. But I just know it's hard to get up every single day in pain, and that is really where if your faith isn't strong enough, you have to hopefully that you're around the people that are around you at the time, their faith is strong enough for you when yours isn't strong enough for you to believe that this is not going to always be like this.
Yeah.
That if you just give yourself time, if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, what you feeling today won't be this strong a year from now. But some folks can't see that far. I mean, I've had people that I know personally that have just couldn't do it, couldn't take it.
It's because I don't know if I've even heard before the total backstory.
No, I don't think I've ever.
I don't know that you've even ever shared the entire backstory, because I remember where I was specifically. I was on 285. The boys were in the car, and we were about to get off on Camp Creek. I was heading home, and I remember hearing you sobbing, and I just started praying. Like, I don't even know how the words came together. I just feel like in that moment, God took over.
Yeah.
Because that's crazy, that I called and I don't even know what triggered me to call. I don't remember what triggered me to call you.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it was, but I'm just so grateful. I'm so, so grateful for just the presence of God.
Yep.
And I can reflect back on in my deepest, darkest moments of despair. I remember being in my car. This was after, Bryce had passed, and this was maybe a couple weeks after he had passed. And I was just sitting in the car, and I was driving. I'm like, Keisha, I had a moment similar to what you had. You know, I'm like, damn, what if, you know, what if I wasn't here? How do I deal with this amount of pain? Like, how do you, when will I ever not feel like this?
Exactly.
You know, when will I ever not, because it felt like it was so far away. Like, the pain was so overwhelmingly, like, just strong. So it's like, I just pulled my car over and I just cried out to God. I remember Kirk Franklin's song, Hosanna, was playing. And whenever I hear that song now, it just gives me chills. But that's one thing I did when I was going through that season of my life. I kept gospel music playing in my car. I kept gospel music playing. And that one song just always resonates in my spirit. But I just remember pulling over and just crying out to God, like, God, why have you forsaken me? Like, how does somebody experience something so surreal? I saw that man. Lord. Yeah. That's another podcast.
Yeah, that's another
podcast. But I say this, Keisha, to say that I'm grateful that I was what God needed, what you needed in the moment that you needed it.
Right.
And you can only pray, like I told you, like you just said, when people are going through, whether it's grief, whether it's through depression, it is the prayers of others that sustain you.
Absolutely.
So you have to be mindful when you see people that may be struggling, they may be in a cycle of lack, or you may be dealing with a wayward child. Like you have to pray to meet that person at their point of need.
Right.
Because only God can change their heart.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's going to be in a matter of his time, not yours.
Right.
You know, so the whole compassion thing and really just trying to be empathetic and just, you know, praying for others is so real, y'all. It's so real.
It is.
I got in my prayer closet this morning and I told you I'm dealing with some personal family matters. And I prayed, oh my God, I can't even, like, it was a prayer. I prayed in the spirit, in tongues. I don't know if people are familiar. I may be going over people's heads, but I prayed in tongues and I really just cried out for God to meet. I prayed specifically for Christian. I prayed for my husband. I prayed for our children who are all going through their personal, individual thing. You know, life is dealing with them. You know, so, you know, on social media, you see all the things we post about our children and all of them are doing well. But trust me, along with that comes a lot of burdens and just other things that they're dealing with as young men, as young black men.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's not always posted. You know, that's not always posted.
Yeah, nobody posts that part. That's why I said that, you know, it's so you can't raise your children the way we were raised because we didn't have social media. Our world did not play out. They didn't have the competition of people that they didn't even know, which in their mind, it's like, well, this person has this person has that, and what am I doing? And, you know, and I mean, I deal with it. I'm 47.
Yes.
And I feel like, you know, all these agents out here, they do what the hell? And I'm from Atlanta. And, you know, but that's been me blocking myself. And also that I feel like God has been dealing with me on some stuff and telling me this direction over here is I want you in here too. You know what I'm saying? So it's because I don't even know if I desire that. I was telling Heather yesterday, I was looking at some stuff. I was pulling old numbers and I'm like, I used to make a lot of money. You know, like, I mean, I still do good, but I made a lot of money when I was at the top of my game. And I was like, but I also remember the year that I made the most money in real estate, I was in turmoil in my personal life. Yeah. Daryl and I were hardly speaking. Yeah. We were like ships passing in the night. You know, DJ, quite frankly, was more attached to his dad than me because all I did was work. Right. It was just, so it's like to find that balance is always the challenge. But again, I swear to God, I to this day, like I said, I don't know. I just broke down when you called me because I knew where my head was. I knew what I was about to do, and I don't know. But I thank God he used you because life has been so good. Yeah. You know, he's gotten so much better. Right. But I understand and I can get it when people are in a place of despair and you just feel like, I just can't wake up one more day and take a breath and it hurt like this. Yeah. Because grief manifests itself in you physically. Oh, yeah. Like it affects you physically. You know what I'm saying? So
I told somebody the other day and that when I was grieving, when I was going through my situation, right, I had lost my hair had fallen out.
Mine too.
All my hair had fallen out. So I was for the first time in my life, I had wore a weave and I had lost so much weight, right? But when you're going through it, you're looking at you don't see yourself. You don't see it. You don't see it. My sister told me that she would see me and it would bring her to tears. It would bring her to tears because I just didn't look like myself. So absolutely, grief can take a toll. Grief and depression. It don't even necessarily have to be grief.
It doesn't. No.
You know, just the stresses of life.
Right. I've had people who've gone through horrific breakups.
Yeah.
And they were like, I hate to be
And it
talking to
takes
you
you
about
out.
this because I know you lost your husband. I'm like, man, pain is relative.
Yes.
If you're going through something, it may not be that you lost a spouse or a family member, but if you're hurting and you're in pain, it's all relative. It doesn't mean that it's any less painful for you,
That's right.
than what you're going through. So I think that we really do just have to continue to stay in prayer, but I think it's so important to emphasize that your circle has got to be the people around you, have got to be people that really want to see you be better.
Yeah.
And not a person who's going to commiserate with you.
Yeah.
Because you do enough of that on you. We do enough of that on our own. So you cannot, because misery does love company. That saying came from somewhere, so you have to be careful about the people that you speak your pain to, your issues to. Sometimes it's like B said, you might just want to get in on your knees in your closet and talk to God and leave some things. That's the other thing. I have a love-hate relationship with social media, but that's the other thing. People tell everything on social media. Everything ain't for the world to consume.
Yes.
Keep your business, your house business, you need to keep that in the house. Some things, you know what I'm saying? Just need to stay and you just pray to God to work through with some situations that you're going through. But yeah, so looking back in hindsight, I thank God that didn't take place. And thank God for you. Because my son, I don't know where he would be if he didn't have me.
Yeah.
Even though he would have had an amazing support system, but they ain't mama.
And we always have to reflect on what our big why is. And I think for the both of us, it was like, okay, our boys don't have nobody but us.
Right.
So that's naturally they were our why.
Right.
But I think as we become more mature and, we grow in our faith, like what you and I have realized that we are more than mothers.
Absolutely.
And I think we feel like now we have a responsibility to pour into other women,
Right.
or not just women, it's men that listen to our podcast and they are, affected or impacted by what we have to share, by, our experiences and us overcoming those experiences and living through as living, walking, breathing testimonies of what God can do.
Absolutely.
So I'm grateful. I'm grateful, Keisha. I'm grateful for our friendship. I'm grateful for, just our ability to rely on our source, because we know where our strength comes from. We know where, like this whole faith thing that we talk about, like it just can't be talked about it. You have to live it.
Right.
It's something that you have to live. And when I moved here from Chicago, I had no idea how, things were going to manifest with my 3 young boys. I didn't know how, but I knew who. I knew who. I knew God was going to elevate us. I knew that he would make provision for us. I knew that he was going to put me in that was still all based off what I believed.
Right.
If you don't believe that,
right,
then how will it ever manifest if you don't believe it?
Right.
But still, like there were things that were happening around me that still, I went through some very trying hardships, real estate is cyclical, y'all. And I'm doing pretty good now, but it ain't always been the case.
Okay.
It ain't always been the case.
Let them know.
So we still here.
We still here.
Yeah, we're here,
we
girl.
still together. Girl.
We still together.
Girl. Oh, you probably just gave me your virus. Y'all give me a Lysol wipe.
Good now. It's a 24-hour virus, okay?
No, seriously, like friendships mean the world to me, my close friends and family. And like I said, I feel for those that don't have it. And I just want people to understand when you're looking through the, looking through these phones and you seeing all these people ain't posting. Most people are not going to tell you. And that's why we still have to make sure we check on folks.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure if the spirit move you to check on folks, then you just need to check on them. And I don't mean a text. I mean, sometimes you got to call people. Sometimes you got to do a drive-by. I know I'm being a hypocrite right there.
Oh, you talking about, we couldn't just leave it at a call with Keisha because she sent all of us to voicemail. I had to show up at her gate.
Yeah, but yeah, so but that is what we really wanted to touch on today was faith over fear. And I think both of us sharing our testimonies and our stories, hopefully it's encouraged you guys to keep pushing, because what I know for sure is that if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, what you're feeling right now today will not be always. And don't make a permanent decision about something that's temporarily going on in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So woo, child, that was kind of heavy.
That
honey.
was
I
heavy.
need me a
That
drink.
was heavy,
And
Lord.
I can't drink that right now.
Need little Baileys in this coffee
little
over here.
Baileys in the coffee. Seriously. But so we're gonna move to the next segment in our podcast, and that is Ish My Kids Did This Week.
Girl, what DJ do?
Everybody be like, what did DJ do? He was like, Mom, but let me tell you, girl, we don't know what we're going to do with Spanish. So he is struggling in Spanish. I've been trying to find him a tutor. So if anybody knows a good Spanish tutor, hit me up. He had one last year, but she's changed her hours to only before 2 on Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, what the hell are we supposed to do with that schedule? So that definitely ain't going to work. But he gonna tell his auntie Kay, my brother's wife, he gonna tell her that he feel like if she was Spanish, she would do better. She's black. And he don't get he doesn't receive it the same way that if she was Latina. And I said, okay, but at Our Lady of Mercy, she was Latina.
Right.
Well, Latino, I don't want to offend anybody, but
But he still struggled.
Yeah. Oh, he flat out was really struggling over there. He talking about, yeah, but she was older. I said, so basically you want J-Lo. You want somebody beautiful, young, and you know what I'm saying?
You
so
can't
you
learn
can receive
unless
this.
it's J-Lo.
You can't learn unless it's J-Lo. So, that's what that boy is a whole show in himself. But he's walking around and he'll be 17 November 1st. So, I just can't believe he's about to be 17. That's crazy to me. But my brother sent me a message the other day. And he was like, he's just so focused right now. He was like, he's manifesting going to the majors in his life. And my brother said that. And I was like, you know what? His work ethic is so strong on the baseball field.
It's getting better in the classroom.
Right? He has that. And I told him, I said, DJ, this is the best semester for you to do it because you only have Spanish, English, and history. And then he loved to say, I got PE too. DJ, don't say to me one more time that you have A and PE.
Count PE.
Right. Don't tell me that again. You ought to have
We
A
only
and
looking
PE.
at core classes,
right,
okay?
like core classes. And I said, you have B's and O's. So if you could just get Spanish up, his auntie K bet him $1,000 if he got straight A's. $1,000. I told her, girl, your money's so safe. It couldn't be safer in Fort Knox. That money could be safer if it was in Fort Knox. I promise you right now. Listen, I love him. It ain't. But
you know
I'm
what,
just
DJ?
saying
You better go out there and prove your mama
me
wrong.
I'll match it
Prove
if you
your
can.
mama.
I'll match it. I
And
would
you know
match
what?
it.
I don't know if I can do the whole thing, but I'm gonna do half of that, DJ.
Okay,
I'm gonna do half of that, DJ.
So let's do the bet. That's $2,500 if you get straight A's, DJ. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to go towards your car.
DJ.
So,
Come with it.
But yeah, that's what we working on, girl. We just trying to get out of Spain because not Spain. We trying to get out of Spanish, but other than that, he's been pretty focused. He's been doing a lot more socially. Yeah. So I've been kind of watching him do more socially. I asked him the other day why he don't have a girlfriend. I said, you don't have a girlfriend? He was like, no. I said, you have a boyfriend, do you? And he was like, no. I'm like, hey, because as parents we got to be open. But no, he's right now we still.
Well, that's good. It's good that he doesn't have a girlfriend right now because it's hard to be extremely focused and have a girlfriend too.
And in being a student athlete, you really don't have a whole lot of downtime.
Oh, you don't.
You really, really don't.
You
and
don't.
a girl will get you all off focus and stuff like that. So I'm okay with him not having a full out girlfriend, but talking to people and all that good stuff. What's going on with your boys?
So it's good that you brought that up because Chase has always been the one that I've had to stay on top of. I mean, all over on top of him over his grades, right? So, but he's done tremendously well. We got our progress reports last week.
Okay,
and the both of them are excelling, all A's and B's, with the exception of Chase is struggling in his pre-calculus class. And I'm gonna throw that.
Never gonna need that in real life, Chase. Don't worry about it.
But I'm gonna throw that out there. I do need a tutor. We do need a tutor. So
right.
The tutor that I used for our other sons last year, she's no longer tutoring. It was Afro Mathematics or something like that was the name of her company. But anyway, she's out of business, so I am in need of a math tutor for him. But other than that, they are just so extremely focused right now.
That's so good.
They're focused. And I asked Chase the same thing. You know how when they ask those questions on...
ask me a question. Yeah.
And so you'll see the little... Because, of course, we stalk our kids' pages.
Right, of course.
So,
absolutely.
And then you'll see, like, he'll put a question out there, and then I'll see a little response from, say, hey, Bae, or something like that. I'm like, who is Bae? Who is this?
Right, who is
He's
that?
like, I don't have no girlfriend. That's just somebody, one of my friends. But I'm glad that it's that way right now, because they do. They have some lofty goals. He's a senior this year. He's trying to finish strong. So girls can only detract from that, I think, in my opinion. And my oldest son had a come to Jesus moment on that. Because, Jaden has had a girlfriend since his freshman year in high school.
Right, I remember.
All throughout high school, his freshman year. And it did take away from his focus. And the moment he kind of figured that out, that's when, and he made the adjustments. But he's facing some trials too. He's facing some trials. And I'm like, this is the whole part of life thing that that they have to endure. But as parents, it's still hard because, he pulled his hamstring right before camp. So that's limited him in his ability to go out and compete right now. So it's just when you are raising young athletes, like it is, dealing with injuries, dealing with disappointment, dealing with, just their expectations, just trying to manage all of that, just the focus piece, keeping them focused and not distracted by all the other things that are going on around them. It is a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. So, but outside of that, they're all doing good. Like that, the perspective that you gain when you hear of stories like like Christian Abercrombie, like it's like, Lord, I'm just so thankful for their health. I'm thankful for just their, they are good. They're good kids, Keisha.
Yeah.
We got some good kids.
We got some good boys.
Yeah,
we really do some good young men. And this morning I was leaving the gym and I had a message from his school. And anytime I see a message, I'm like, that, what is it? What could this possibly be about? But they actually received a threat last night on social media for somebody to do something crazy at the school today. So the principal was leaving a message to us parents, and basically they had law enforcement was called immediately, and they investigated and found out that they I guess went to the kid's house, found out his account had been hacked by somebody out of state. But just getting that message was so unsettling for me.
Yes.
I'm like, this is just like the stuff that we have to deal with, that our kids have to deal with. So I didn't even tell DJ about it until right when he got ready to get the car. I honestly thought he had probably heard about it on social media.
Right.
Somebody reached out to him. So I said, you heard about what happened? He was like, no, what? And I told him, he said, well, just know I'll be the first thing up out of here if anything like that go down. So don't worry about it. He told me, we don't need them problems,
right.
So I said, yeah, you are absolutely right. But yeah, so we have to deal with so much outside. If we can keep them focused on the inside in terms of what goes on in our house, we still sending them out to the world every day.
That's right.
And even going to school, you got to worry. So today I've been a little off, that shook me up.
Yeah.
Just the fact that I have to even think about something like that. And of course, him being in public school, I'm like, see, I ain't had these problems when I was in private school. But
girl, it happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere. But so that kind of shook me up. But yeah, we do. We have good boys, and I think about it sometimes when I'm stuck in traffic driving to Cartersville, or yesterday after that long day, I had to take them to Vinings to go train and all of that stuff. And I always remember what my friend said. He was like, "Do you know how many parents wish this is all they had to do? They sitting up in court fighting for their children's freedom.
Yeah, say that
spending
again.
$50,000 that they don't have, or $10,000, or whatever. And God forbid they don't have any money for an attorney. Right. They just dealing with the court-appointed attorney. So when I think about that, yes, I would much rather be exhausted at the end of the day and dealing with that with my son. But it's been a whirlwind since the Realtors Outlet. It's been crazy because I'm going back to that, because the amount of agents that have continued to reach out to me and just say thank you, like that to me makes me feel so good when you come from a place organically and you genuinely want to see people win.
Right.
Genuinely, want to see people win. Okay,
yeah, that's that. You gotta put that out there, because it ain't always that way.
It ain't always that way. You know what I mean? Because So anyway.
Well, on that note, I think we should talk about who our mama on the move is this week.
Oh, okay. I gotta pull it up, and I don't even know if I know how to pronounce her name. Lord, Brandy.
We gonna struggle through it.
Yeah, we're going to struggle through it. I'm going to try my best.
Because as y'all know, we always like to acknowledge a fellow mama on the move, because, we are all out here just trying to do our very best. And that is be the best, whether it is, as it relates to tending to our families, being business women and entrepreneurs, and trying to maintain the social aspect and have some balance through it all. So, we always want to acknowledge and honor another mama on the move. So you all, if you want us to acknowledge us, please send us an email to wearemamasonthemove@gmail.com. Again, that's wearemamasonthemove@gmail.com.
Okay, that was perfect timing, because I found the young lady. Her name is... What you think that is?
Let me see.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. How would you say that?
Austin.
Well,
it's just spelled very uniquely. AWSTYN. Austin.
Okay, well now don't even know if I want her to be the mom on the move.
You
Austin. I would never have thought that was Austin, but you're right. It is
AWST.
It's phonetically spelled.
Austin. Yeah.
Okay, so this week's Mama on the Move is Austin Cochran. And I'm just going to read her email. Hi, ladies. Let me first just say congrats on your podcast. I follow you both on Instagram, and you two are amazing at what you do, and I'm taking notes. Second, sometimes we just have to toot our own horn. Beep, beep. I am nominating myself for Mama of the Week because, and this is why. My name is Austin, pronounced Austin. I read that a
there
little bit.
It is.
From St. Louis, I'm a mother of 2 beautiful boys like you, Brandy. Brandy has 3. She said Jordan, age 5, and Aspen, 4 months. I hear you both talking about your teenagers, and I'm like, that would be me one day, jealous of their little girlfriends. Keisha, laugh out loud. Anyway, I'm a newly licensed realtor, and I just got my license in June while I was on my 3-month maternity leave. I am now back at my full-time professional job from 7:30 to 4 each day, and I attend school. She from St. Louis or Jamaica. She doing a lot. I am 3 months away from having my bachelor's in business. While I am not a single mother, I raise my sons with my fiance. It is still challenging, from cooking to studying, responding to my new clients, being an attentive mother, waking up at midnight at 4 a.m. to feed my little baby, and making time for their father. Let me just say, woo, child. Girl, I feel the same way for you.
Yes.
Sometimes I just fall asleep when I'm putting my boys to sleep. My friends say I haven't missed a beat, but I feel like I have so much to accomplish to secure my family's future. I plan on starting my own real estate firm when I really learn the business and have time to breathe. So I just wanted to represent for all the mamas who have a fully loaded plate but don't complain because the goal is to eat. Keisha, I purchased your ebook and loved it. Thank you. And I have showings tonight when I get off work. Pray for your girl. And her Instagram name is Austin, spelled Awstyn, Adrian, Adrianne. Well, Austin, you are our this week's Mama on the Move. We really appreciate you reaching out to us. You do have an extremely full schedule. And again, we're glad for your support. Glad you listen in, and again,
keep being great.
And keep being great. Absolutely. So, what else would I want to? It's something else I want to say real quick before we got off. About stuff. Have we done that in a minute? What's in your DMs?
No, we haven't really done that.
What's in your DMs? Brandy, you got anything in your DM you want to talk
what?
about?
It's been so much of the response from Realtors Outlet.
Yeah.
You know, so that is, and it's like, okay, but people saying the same thing, but it's great. We appreciate it because it was an overwhelming response.
Right.
So that's mostly what's been in my DMs.
Well, I got an older gentleman who's sending me screenshots every morning, and I want to say I want him to stop. Okay, now I'm trying to
call him out. Let's add him.
I mean, he probably
let's just block him right now. Okay.
Fan. I mean, it's not. I just don't want you to send me double screenshots. You scare me a little bit. Okay.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. You need to stop before we report you.
And then the other thing is, you guys, I appreciate. I share my life with you guys. I appreciate your, being involved and stuff like that. But when you come up to my child, if you see him out and you say, I'm your auntie so-and-so, he doesn't know you, it's a little stalkerish and unnerving. So I understand y'all know him through my Instagram. I want to continue to share him with you guys. But, when you see my kid out, just tell him that it's from Instagram, that you follow me and that kind of stuff. Don't walk up to my baby talking about I'm your auntie. And he looking at you like,
auntie who?
Right, exactly. Because I know all my aunties, okay? But no, seriously, we appreciate you guys' support. And until next time,
keep moving, mamas.